You ever have those amazing moments where you wake up with so much passion and enthusiasm and you're so excited to crush your day and get on to the next task because you know that it's contributing to something that is so much bigger than yourself, and it just fills you up with energy and a good mood and a great attitude and gratitude and that sense of awe, which is so amazing. And if you don't have that experience, then you're probably not aligned with yourself and who you are specifically. So this is why I wanted to talk to you guys about how to go all in on yourself, and what does going all in on yourself even mean, and what does it look like? And I have a few stories to share with you guys, which I hope give you the tools and the mindset and the understanding of what to do to go all in on yourself. Because when you do understand that going all in on yourself is going to help you transform your business, have better health, have way better relationships, and get out of the comfort zone that you built for yourself. Because if you're not going all in for yourself, what I've found with all the communities and the people that I work with in my communities, which is called the Set the Standard community, and if you guys want to have a look at it, you can go to getstartedwithcorey.com as the personal development company that I've created for inspiring leaders, is you can see that people who have gone all in on themselves really understand who they are, and they understand that not having the comfort zone for themselves, which is temptations in terms of sexual partners and food and scrolling on social media and drugs and alcohol. And a lot of people that I work with create a comfort zone within their own business because they really want to succeed and have these great things, and they've attached themselves to one goal, and they're like, when I get this, everything is going to be awesome. And they get there and they achieve it, but then that restricts them and limits them from getting to the next level and having more success and taking those real big risks because they don't want anything to break, which comes down to a money thing and their own self-worth, because they don't want to spend money on something else. And they start having money mindset problems, or comparing to themselves with other money stuff, or they're spending it on distractions or spending it on something silly or not spending it at all. And you see people with this own, money mindset, which is going a little bit skew with, just because they've sort of achieved their goals, but they don't know what's happening next, or they don't believe in themselves to have the capability to what happens with whatever's happening next. The majority of the time that comes down to what I see and what I coach and I communicate and what I preach is it's not, the next level of success isn't properties, it isn't business systems, it could be scaling different things, but a lot of time it's not focusing on scaling immediately, and it's not getting more money or doing whatever it is. The majority of the time it's understanding that relationships are your greatest currency. And the power of one conversation or one person can completely change your life. Whether that be an intimate relationship, whether that be a next business partner opportunity, or a really high paying client, or whatever it may be. It could be, a conversation with an employee that helps completely transform your business and helps you get out of working so hard and everything all the time and actually trusting them because you trust yourself and you've taught them skills because you have a good, leadership ability and leadership skills. So they're all just potential things. But I did want to communicate and tell you some stories about, how you can actually do this. And I'd like to share your story with Will Giles, which is a close friend of mine who come working with us. And I'm just getting some things up here, which I think are really powerful in terms of what Will actually transformed. But Will started with us ages ago, and he might be in a similar position to you. He started with us and he essentially transformed and started having $20,000 clients that he worked with, and moved to, in a few month period, working with people, $300,000 clients. Crazy transformation, right? But essentially it all come down to him and his own mindset and understanding value within inside himself, because he had imposter syndrome and couldn't believe who he really was. He had to understand learning deep and powerful conversations and not be afraid to be seen for who he truly was and who he truly was and is, and be able to express himself and give love to the people who matter most, and actually receive gratitude and love and feel really proud of himself, so that he could go out there and kick his ass and live at his full potential. Because he went from drinking energy drinks every single day and working 12 hours and ringing me up like, how can I, focus on my sleep better? And I need to do work, and I need to understand myself better. And I'm trying to do all these things for my partner who I love so much, and my family, because his dad's really successful. He wants to prove to his dad how, that he has those skills as well. And he studied at uni and did all the things that he thought was right. But he went on holiday one time, and he called me up because he wanted to celebrate Valentine's Day with his partner, because he's a very big lover and he really values her in their relationship. He went on holiday and he just got sick immediately. So sick. Headache, temperature, vomiting, throwing up. And she obviously didn't have a good time. And he was like, dude, what's wrong with me? What have I got to do? I think I'm dying. No, bro, you're not dying. This is just what happens, because in terms of stress is cortisol. And if your cortisol level's high and you're working hard all the time, when your cortisol level's up, it says, don't get sick. Don't let your immune system take over and recharge and recover for you, because we've got stress coming. And if you relax right now and you allow yourself to get sick for whatever you need, then you're not going to be able to fight off whatever's coming. So essentially what happens is you store stress in your fat cells. And when you get to relax, which he did every single time he relaxed, so sick, the sickest he's ever been, because his body's like, oh, we can rest and recover and get rid of all this sickness that we've stored. And if you don't get rid of that later on, it turns to cancer and stuff. But anyway, it was crazy that happened. And he rung me up and he talked to me through these things. I'm like, all right, let's go through the program, jump on the program, and we'll see how everything happens. So he jumped on the program and he learned how to celebrate himself, and he learned how to prioritize love with his family and understanding that his own health was extremely important for his family. So he spent quality time with his partner, went away with his dad and his mum, which he never really does, and his partner, and had this amazing time reflecting. He spent some time understanding the power of a performance conversation and how talking with people and talking to them and communicating them with a language that could potentially relate to them and help them come to a really big conclusion, and not be afraid to do that and ask for the amount of money that he thinks that he is worth, because they did amazing jobs. He works at a social media company, owns one, filtered.com, filtered media, I think it is, something like that. And they have to provide the best level of service for people, and they're working for small-time clients. And understanding his own value, he said, no, I'm not going to be afraid to be seen. I'm here to work through these things in his own value, and having posting things on social media to overcome the fears, and doing public speaking talks for free at universities to overcome his fears, and ended up networking with amazing people and having conversations with them, and then working with big companies. The big companies, for the social media packages, he's like, well, this is $300,000. Like, if you want a package this big, that's what's going to be it. And they said, done, sign. You know what I mean? He rung me up. I remember I was walking home from the food shops, and I was holding my grocery bags, and he called me up and I put him in my earphones. He's like, dude, I got to share with you the most amazing things. And I was like, what? He's like, listen to this. It's crazy. We both got so excited. And I got so excited. I was filled with just like, what's happening? He's like, I just signed $300,000 contract for my social media company, and I've got 2 more calls this week. And we were just like celebrating it so hard. And he was like, dude, and it was amazing for me, because he was like, it all comes down to you and the programs that you teach and the things that you've done, because I got out of my own head. I saw my full potential, and I'm just not afraid to express myself with it. I can have the conversation. I have the freedom to love. I'm not afraid. I have the courage to be seen for who I truly am, and I'm not going back. And it's just been 100K clients, 200K clients since. Crazy transformation. Crazy. I hope that's motivated you. Another story, we've worked with a guy called Zach, and Zach owns an internet removalist company. And essentially, if you've got OnlyFans or something like that, and your photos leak, his company comes in and provides a service to remove it from the internet. But that's not his passion. What he has loved ever since he was a kid was animals and just caring and loving animals and pets. He has this deep passion. And when we come in, he understood his purpose, and he learnt self-gratitude, and really understood his own strengths and weaknesses, and his own relationship with money and where he needs to put it. Instead of focusing his internet removalist company, which is original business, he's pouring all of it into his app called Compatible, which is essentially like a Tinder. It links up owners with stray animals at all the shelters, has all the profiles for them and the profiles for you, and matches you through algorithms the right pet for you. And there'll be a few of them, and you can choose which pet you most like. How beautiful is that, right? So he spent hundreds and thousands of dollars and raising money for this app and putting all his time, energy, and effort. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care about, he loves his business and how it works, his internet removalist business, but he doesn't care how much money that he spends, and he's using that to chase his dream. And he's not far off of launching it. And the hype is amazing, and the app looks incredible. And he's worked with amazing people around Australia. And there's so many people that are so interested in the app and what has happened. It's going to absolutely take off. But that's not the result that I want to say. The result is that he's so convicted, and he knows his purpose, and he knows his passion. He's doing everything he can. He's waking up every single day with enthusiasm, and is just excited, and he's testing his skills to the greatest capacity. And especially if you're in your 20s to 40s, it's like you're in the best position to do it. Don't get comfortable. Don't let your business hold you back. Take the risks and the examples and the experiences that you most want to live, and be like Zach, because that's exactly what Zach's doing. Another person is Robbie, and he's an amazing client of mine. He come on and he went from, this is crazy, right? Listen to this. So he went from working in a property development company as like a leader, and he was doing like 80K a year, something like that was his salary. And he was so scared and nervous and holding himself back from starting his own company, even though he had all of the qualifications, he had everything sorted, but he didn't see his own self-worth. He didn't know how to have powerful conversations. He didn't see his own self-gratitude. He distracted himself with women and drinking and seeking validation from everyone else. Like, oh, you guys are so good, celebrating everyone else, but couldn't celebrate and feel proud of himself. And, and was also afraid of being seen. So after he learned how to increase his own self-worth, not be afraid to be seen, give love, and own who he truly was, which is a whole journey in itself. I'm not going to get into it now. You can listen to a podcast around here. I did a podcast with him. He talks about it. Insane. Might be somewhere up around here or in the links below. But this is so crazy, guys. With one conversation, he had the courage to talk to his boss and basically tell him, like, I know my worth, and unless my pay or I'm included in the actual business, like, I'm going to essentially go and start my own. And there's techniques for how to do that and have the best outcome. But he ended up having a great outcome for leaving and, less and less and less and saving money and reducing work hours and things like that. But he ended up starting his own business. And within a year, listen to this, guys. So he achieved his 3-year goals in 6 months after coming into the program. But what he did was he went from $85K a year and then revenued $3 million. Revenued $3 million in 1 year from jumping in and understanding these things and having that powerful conversation. Wow. But he understood his own self-worth and he knew his strengths and weaknesses, and he talked to all his friends around him and he asked them his strengths and his weaknesses, and he analyzed them and he understood who he specifically was and what he needed to do, and the things that the friendship groups that he needed to leave, and the friendships that he needed to stop serving so much, and validating himself through going and talking to every single potential relationship partner in the world and actually getting into a loving relationship with one, which is insane. So insane. So that's sort of the power of what happens when you actually go all in yourself. And if you want to book in a call and jump on a call with me, you can head to getstartedwithcorey.com and book it in, or there should be a link down below, because we're accepting applications for people for jumping in. So you have to apply, because we only want business owners. We want people who are inspiring, starting their own business, going on that entrepreneur's journey and taking it to the next level. You may have a business already and you're doing really well and you're like, okay, I feel like I have so much more in the tank. Perfect place for you. Or you could be someone who's like, I just really want to start a business. I want to really own myself. I want to take myself to the next level and set the standard, inspire everyone around me. Boom. This is also for you. So go and apply. And if you are that person, then we'd love to have you on, help you have these huge results. Another person who come in the program who had these crazy transformations, because it's not just all this big, crazy like business success like these guys have had, but it's also for people who are inspiring into the business. So Joey Humphrey come in and he was a PT and wanted to run his own like PT business, but he come in and quit his job of 14 years because he's working with his old man, 30-year-old established labor business worth millions of dollars. And he said, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do that. So it took him so much courage to come in and actually do that. He spent all of his money flying interstate, competing in bodybuilding shows, coming to the events for what we were running and blowing his mind, writing out his own eulogy. He jumped on a hot seat in our community, which is basically him and 15 to 20 other people just giving you life advice for 1 hour. Really intense, and that blew his brain. I remember him coming onto calls and being so frustrated because he's like, I just don't know what I want to do. I'm learning all these things. I'm learning this personal development stuff, but like I can't complete what I need to do. And you have this worksheet and you get just so close to finishing it from the end. And he's like, I just can't because I can't see what I'm doing. But encourage him. Eventually he'd finish it. Or he went to write out his own hero journeys. That's another thing that we learn and we teach. And he got so he got like half of it done, and then he struggled to get the rest. He's like, I just don't know what to do from here and moving forward. Like, I have no idea. And over serious reflecting and thinking, understanding his own self-worth and knowing his strengths and weaknesses, he sort of got real clear of what he wanted to do. And it was all just the courage to be seen. Like, he found it so hard to just put a phone down in the gym and record himself in front of other people, or talk about his own fitness. Like, he's fit, he's completely jacked and so healthy. He looks so amazing and competed with me. It was such a great experience. I got to compete together. But he looked so amazing, but he was so shy of like getting the video because he thought everyone would judge him. And after coming to the community, doing the exercises, going through the hot seat, learning all the big things, he was in there. It took him about 1.5 years, but he found out exactly who he was. He completely transformed. He's on the cusp right now of launching his own Facebook community and business, specifically on health and mindset. And he's learned everything that we have. So he's more than capable for anything else, which is so insane. And it's just beautiful seeing him come in and transform and be in that position where he doesn't care about anything else. His relationship with money is perfect. Like, I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying. And he's just started succeeding and he's just started creating and he's moved through, and it's so awesome to watch him grow like that. We also had Nick Diamond who come on, and he had this crazy, the power of conversation for him was insane. So he went from, as a real estate agent, all swanky, like loves the expensive watches, the expensive cars, like this is me, this is who I am, and had a pretty toxic relationship with his parents and the people of the opposite sex. So like his partners is so toxic, and he was all that swanky, like I'm the best sort of person, but it wasn't him at all. He came into the program and realized that wasn't him at all. He learned how to have powerful conversations. He learned his own value by like loving himself and understanding the power of actually being able to ask for money. So many people struggle to ask for money and they struggle to post content, and that was him for so long, but he needed to figure out who he was and not be afraid to be seen and know his strengths and weaknesses and have the powerful conversation. He had a powerful conversation with his old man, and he was the person for him who would hold him back. There was a lot of struggle and communication between them, but he sat down, wrote him a letter and explained all the things that frustrated about him. He learned all these things about his dad to the point where his mum come up to him afterwards and said to him, "Nick, you've just broken the family curse." He just went, "Oh my God, no way." Completely shifted his relationship with his old man, which led to him shifting a relationship with his ex-partner, which was extremely toxic, and then helped him basically go, "I'm quitting my real estate job." He was planning on quitting it in like 8 months' time. He went, "No, I'm doing it now." He come to the event, wrote out his own eulogy, which is extremely powerful. And then "No, I'm doing it now." He had to work through asking for money. He didn't see his own worth. And he did this for him. What his new business was, for what he needed to do, was create a breathwork company. And he studied under the best people out of part of the program, 12-month certificate of learning breath work from an amazing coach and understanding what it is. And every single week he's working on that to get his license and his certificate to do it. So it's not just a month course here. It's like 12-month immersive experience. And he's the best at it. And he's come in and trialed it on people in our community, and they've all had crazy results, to the point where he just messaged me. Let me get my phone out. He literally messaged me and said this. He messaged me, where is he? Nick in here. Just getting him up, guys. 2 seconds. He said to me, "Listen to this. Value was coming in for sure. I had to get my offering on paper to hand, and I had to understand my own value and the value of this and what it was worth. So I'm loving the feedback that you give me. And I'll just let you know, I had my first paid client yesterday, and I have another one tomorrow. I had to share because you've been with me for the whole journey, and this has been a long time coming, and we're finally here. And this is who I am, and I absolutely love myself." He didn't say that, but this is his thoughts. So he said that in terms of what he's doing. But Nick's own reflection is, he's like, "This is who I am." You can see a podcast that I did with him somewhere around here. "This is who I am. I completely love and accept myself. Everything is perfect. And I need to share this with other people because this is what I was born to do. I don't care about the money." Sold his car, sold everything, quit his job. Don't worry about the real estate successful business. I am just focusing on me. How beautiful was that? And that is because he knew his strengths and weaknesses. He did his own eulogy, he wrote that out. He had the courage to be completely seen. He knew how to have powerful conversations. He changed his own environment, changed how he dressed, how he looked, how he showed up on social media. He had understood all of the people around him and used his network to the best of its capability. He understood the power of asking for more money, which we do in the program, right? No matter where you are, ask for more money, right? So scary is that. No matter if it's an $80 million contract, whether it's $100 from someone, like whatever it may be, or if you need a pay rise in your business, whatever it is, asking for more money, crazy, and an elite skill. And then he also had the freedom to love, understood his own self-worth. Because so many men, people just don't understand giving gratitude for yourself and feeling proud of yourself is a superpower that increases your own self-value, so that you feel so dominant within inside yourself that you can go out and absolutely dominate the space and what you need to do because you own your own space. So powerful, so important. So if you're interested in doing these exercises and you want to do it with us and you want to completely transform your life, because this is why I want to show you why it's important to go all in yourself and what it looks like. This is it. And we're doing it, facilitating it. And you can jump on. We have applications open, so application only. Business owner or inspiring business owner, you want to go on that entrepreneurial journey, become the best version of yourself. And if you fit those things, you can apply, and we'll figure out if you are a really good fit. And if you are, you can jump on board, because I would love to help you. If that's you, I would love to help you absolutely crush these things. You can come in, jump into a community leader. You can speak to Nick or Joey straight away, book in a call with them and actually talk about their experience. Literally right now, you can jump in because they're community leaders in the program because they've had such crazy results. So you come and talk to anyone straight away and completely transform your life. So depending on when and where you're at in this program's life, if you're listening to this, it is live. Come join the community at Set the Standard. Come do the all in the program. Go all in on yourself and completely transform. Level up your business, get more success, better relationship, better health. It's all here waiting for you. You deserve to set yourself a new standard for yourself. And we're here to absolutely help you supercharge it and go through it. So look forward to speaking to you soon. If you do apply, you're probably going to jump on a phone call with me really soon. I look forward to walking you through the steps and getting you started. Big love. Or you can head to getstartedwithcorey.com and just go straight away from there and apply. Look forward to seeing you in the groups, guys.